my name is Lizzie, and this is Lizzie's Literary Life, and today we are doing my April Jigsaw TBR. If you're new here, my hair's a hot mess. Jigsaw TBR is the game that I play every month where I do a jigsaw puzzle, and that gives me prompts that pick the books that I read within the month. Hot mess hair. What are we even doing? It's going up. Jigsaw TBR is the game that I play every month that decides the books that I'm going to read. The way it works is I have this board that has these circular prompt cards on it. For example, physically owned. And I always explain this out of order. First thing I do is roll a die, and that number on the die times 10 plus 30 is the number of minutes that I have for my jigsaw puzzle. I do the jigsaw puzzle on the board. Any prompts that are not covered by puzzle pieces at the end of the time limit, I have to fill with books. That's how it works. I have all my supplies ready to go. Let's talk about last month. Last month, I had 9 books on my TBR. 2 of them are still in progress. It's the 26th. And one of them will be in progress by the end of the month. But I did complete 6 of them, and as well as like 6 other books, which is really solid. So that's pretty okay. April is my birthday month. My birthday's at the very end of April 30th. I do have a week off in April, like a spring break situation. And so that's like, it's going to be a busy month, but I do have that week off in the middle. I am participating in one readathon this month, and that is Realmathon, hosted by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. I love Realmathon. It was so fun last year. I am on Team Ilma, which is the sci-fi nonfiction team. So if you see some sci-fi and nonfiction on my TBR, that'll get me points. I don't think there's much more to say. I want to get my die rolled so that I know how long the puzzle's going to take me, because I don't have a lot of time. We'll see. Let's roll our die. I have so many books that I need to read in April. Like, I have so many upcoming holds, so many like projects planned, like buddy reads. It's really like there's a lot. So I'm open to some surprises, but also like I have an agenda of what I want to get into this TBR. Okay. 4. I feel like we always get 4. That is times 10 plus 30, 70 minutes. An hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to have to wait until after the Shelf This Live show. That tells you what day I'm filming this on. But I can do the edge beforehand. I do the edge of the puzzle first, and then start the timer when I start doing the middle of the puzzle. And that's what you're about to see now. Okay, so I thought I was doing really well, and then like looking at what's covered, like I feel like I did a lot of the puzzle. There's just a lot that's not covered. Like I did a lot in the spaces between the prompts, which is kind of frustrating, but that's okay. That's okay. It just means reading more books, and I love reading books. So it's all good. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we're going to do 8. We're going to do 8. I have a lot of books I need to read this month anyway, so we'll see how this goes. New author. Okay, for new author, I'm going with The Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. I'm not going to describe these books because I don't know what any of them are about, but this was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction, and I'm really excited about it. She didn't kill her husband, but why not let everyone believe she did? That's a good tagline. And yeah, it sounds good. I've never read anything from this author before, but I like the cover. I like the vibes. Totally down to give this a try. Previous fave author. For previous fave author, I'm going with A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is book 2 in the Wayfarers series. And Becky Chambers is definitely a previous fave. A Long Way to a Small and Grief Planet was a fave. To Be Taught If Fortunate, which I just read last month, was a fave. So definitely this gets Realmathon sci-fi points. I don't think I mentioned I was doing Realmathon and that I'm on the sci-fi team. I'm not making a specific TBR for that. I'm just going to read what I read and then fill prompts in to the books I read. But I did try to put some sci-fi on here. I don't know if I did more sci-fi than just this one, but I put this sci-fi book on here. Highest rated. For highest rated, this is actually the one thing that lined up perfectly because I already had this book out from the library, like on hold on Libby or loaned on Libby, and I wanted to get to it, and then I sorted my Goodreads by highest rated, and this was second on the list, so like perfect. And this is Unmasking Autism by Devin Price. This is a book about autism, and I've heard it's really good, and it's definitely something I want to learn more about. So this will be my nonfiction go for the month, and I'm very excited about it. 5-star prediction. For 5-star prediction, I've gone with Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This hold just came in on Libby, and I'm so excited. It's a cozy fantasy about like a orc, some sort of fantasy creature who's like retired from like being a warrior and is starting a coffee shop with all these fantasy creatures, and it's like queer apparently, and it just seems so good. So everyone loves it. 5-star prediction. Young adult. For young adult, this one I wasn't sure. I needed a rec. I was going through my Storygraph young adult on the want to read, and none of it was really taking my interest. I was kind of feeling a thriller maybe, and so I asked for recommendations in my group chat, and Danielle from Danielle Reads recommended The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. I've read a Tiffany D. Jackson before. I read Grown, and I liked it. I don't know. It hit me really hard. I had a really hard time reading it. So it was impactful, but I don't know if I would say I liked it. But yeah, gonna read that. That's a thriller about, I think, racial things. I don't know. Middle grade. For middle grade, I'm going to read Kingdom Keepers, Disney After Dark by Ridley Pearson, which is the first book in the Kingdom Keepers series. This is Martine from Just Martine's childhood fave, and I decided to read it. So her childhood fave series, I really want to read this. So it apparently is not very high quality, but it's fun. So I'm in for a fun time. Storygraph recommendation. For Storygraph Rec, this is where I go to the Storygraph recommendations page and I just scroll until I find something I want to read or I pick from that list. And I chose Is it The Lost Apothecary or The Last Apothecary? It'll be on the screen, by Sarah Penner. No idea what this is about, but I was interested in it at some point. And I have the audiobook, so we're going to read it. '22 and 2022, that's outdated. But I did not read them all, so I'll take a look at that list. And finally, for 22 and 2022, this is that list. I didn't read very many of them in 2022. Actually, I don't think I even updated this by the end of 2022. But I'm going for, for this one, I was choosing between two, and I also put it to my group chat, and Danielle also came through. I did a little emoji poll, and Danielle, unknowingly, chose The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy, which I actually have. I don't have the dust jacket. I got it for $2 at a thrift store, and I don't know what it's about. But I'm going to read it, so that's exciting. I feel like I went through that super fast, and that's because it's 10 o'clock at night, and I've been working on this video since like 5:45. I did take a break for the Shelf This Live show, but yeah, I've been working on this video for a while. I want to go to bed. There were a lot of curveballs on this TBR. I have so much more I need to read in April. It's going to be a wild reading month, I think. So stay tuned. And I am going to go to bed. Okay, good night.